Yep, we back again with another edition of CT's RPT, Real Prison Talk with West. And I've been talking about it. This is the version of Craziest Prison Fights, where I give people a chance to call in and basically tell us about whatever prison fights, the craziest prison fights that you either witnessed or probably even been in yourself. We got Big Bro on the line right now, and last time he gave us a hilarious story about the prison fight about with the boxer, and he promised he was gonna come back and give us one more. You know what I mean? So, as just like a man of his word, the man is back. I'm gonna give you the floor. It's all yours, brother.
Okay. So as I check out people's YouTube channels, one thing I notice is that people always like to tell these fighting stories where they always victorious. You know,
Facts.
like it seems like no one ever loses on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
For the most part, it seems like nobody loses, stuff like that. So, me personally, like I've had a lot of fights, and most of my fights was over bullshit. To be honest with you, I wasn't in no gang or nothing like that. So most of my fights was over bullshit, stuff that could have been avoided, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But here's a fight where I didn't come out on top. So
Okay.
now this how the story went. So basically, we was in Fishkill Correction Facility, upstate New York,
Okay.
and depending on what part of Fishkill you in, it's going to dictate how the unit look. Now, mind you, this is a medium. It's not no max. We had already been behind a wall. You coming down on your time. So
Okay.
it depends on how you look. But one thing about Fishkill, it has a lot of rooms, not cells,
Mm.
and these
Rooms. Okay.
4-man rooms, 3-man rooms, 2-man rooms. And if you've been in a unit long enough, you can get like a 1-man room. And
Mm-hmm.
what happens from there is we was in a 4-man room. I was in a whole different unit from the unit the last time I told the story with my boy. I was in a whole
Yeah.
different unit. So I
Mm-hmm.
was in like a 4-man joint. So like it was like me, two other dudes there was pretty much steady. And then the other bed was pretty much people coming in, going, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So the bed was open. So a Jamaican kid comes in, and I'm younger time. I'm probably about late 20s, maybe 28, somewhere around there. So
Mm.
the Jamaican dude was an older dude. He got to be 45 to 50. He got to be somewhere in that age range because I'm looking at him as an old timer because I'm in my 20s.
Mm. Okay.
So dude comes in. I check him out for a couple of days. He seemed clean, quiet, whoop de woo. So
Mm-hmm.
I asked him, yo, do you want to stay here? Like, do you want to stay here? Or he had the option to go out the room and live in a cubicle area where he would have had his own little cube and this, that, and another.
Yeah.
So,
Let me just explain something to my viewers that ain't never been in jail. Choosing your cellie is very important. The person you live with has to be you want him to be clean. You don't want to just live with anybody. So that's why the process that what he's talking about right now, you have to live with this man. And we living in close quarters. So not just anybody could just move in and live in here. He has to be verified first.
mhm.
So go ahead.
Yeah, so that's what it was. I want to see what his traffic flow look like. Is he one of them one of them peoples where everybody want to come and
Mm-hmm.
check him and all that? Because that wasn't going down in the room.
Yeah,
We
you don't want that shit in your room.
bunch of people coming up in there and all that. We ain't having that. So I seen he wasn't like that. So I asked
Okay.
dude, yo, you trying to rock or you going to the cubicle area? You want to go to the cubicle area? So he said, nah, I'm cool here. I want to rock. So what I said to him was, I said, all right, well, listen, we pretty much got one rule, and that's that every week, one of us is going to sweep and mop the floor. So when that happens, everybody's going to lift up all the stuff that's under their beds, and they're going to put it on. They're going to flip the mattress
Yeah,
and
give
put
him access to
everything.
clean the floor.
Yeah, and most of them, the other two dudes that was in my room, they had like a bunch of boxes and shit with legal work and all that. I had sneakers and boots. That was under my bed. I had a lot of sneakers and boots up under my shit. So I flipped my
Mm.
mattress. So what happened was he didn't have to do it that week. He probably didn't have to do it for about 2 or 3 weeks. It finally got to him. So
Mm.
when it got to him, mind you, we do this on Saturday mornings because people be programming throughout the week, whoop de whoop. Nobody really programs on Saturday and Sunday for the
Okay.
most part, unless you're in a mess hall or something. Anyway,
Okay.
dude was like, so Saturday morning come up, I want to go hit the yard, work out. So I flipped my bed, put all my sneakers and boots up there. Everybody else flipped their bed, put their shit up there, this, that, and another. I'm
Mm-hmm.
assuming he doing the same, and I just catch the yard run. I go out to
Mm-hmm.
the yard. I remember this like it's yesterday. Did shoulders that day. Uh, banging out some shoulders, coming back feeling good.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I know that feeling.
Yeah. So as I'm coming back, my mindset is I know dude is finished because he don't had an hour to, and it only take 15 minutes to sweep him out the floor,
Yeah.
let it, and let it dry. So I'm saying to myself, I know dude is finished by now. So I come back and one of the dudes that was in the room with me, he was an old timer. He comes running to me like, yo, man, Holmes ain't sweeping off the floor. So like I said,
He's talking about the new dude.
new dude. So yeah, he
Okay.
was telling me like the new dude ain't do that. So like I said, what's significant about that is you got people that's got their shit up on their bed. They trying to get their
Yeah.
shit down. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying?
we waiting. Yeah, you waiting for him to finish so you can put your shit back right.
Put your shit back right. So I come in the room. This nigga got on his sweatsuit, workout gloves. This nigga about to go outside to work out.
He ain't got
So
no intentions on cleaning up.
yeah. So I'm like, yo, bro, where you going? You know what I'm saying? This nigga like, yo, I'm going to work out. So I'm like, yo, you don't see nigga shit up here, nigga. We told you. I mean, you knew it was your week. We knew, like, you already knew it was your week, bro. So you knew that. So he like, nah, I'll do that when I come back. So I said, nah, that
Mm.
ain't gonna happen. He was like, what you mean? I said, nigga, I'm not gonna be sitting here waiting for you to come back for no fucking yard to sweep him off the floor. Nigga, I don't worked
Yeah.
out. I want to jump in the shower. Yeah, I want to put my shit down, like, so
Yeah.
I ain't waiting a week. I mean, no, excuse me, not week, no hour. I ain't waiting no hour.
Yeah.
So, dude, like, yo, man, I'm going to yard. I'm going to yard, man, because at the time, police told my yard. So I'm telling
Mm-hmm.
the nigga, listen, man, if you leave, you're gonna get all your shit up out of here today. Point blank. And I think
Yeah.
I even told the nigga, I'm gonna take your shit up out of here. Some shit like that. But your shit coming up
Mm-hmm.
out of here. If you leave this motherfucking room and go in that yard, you getting the fuck up out this room today.
Mm.
So when I said it to the nigga just stepped back and got into a fighting stance. You know,
Oh shit.
the nigga ain't say what's up or the nigga, what I'm saying? This nigga ain't say what's
Nigga
up
just
or nothing.
squared up.
That nigga just squared up and shit like that. So I said, ain't this a
Oh.
bitch? Yeah, so I came through, and it's no bullshit, Wes. I came and walked up on him. I just hit this nigga one time and dropped him. Boof.
Mm.
And the nigga he jumped up off the floor quick as a motherfucker and charged me. I hit him again.
Mm.
Wow, this nigga hit the ground again. Boof. So then
Mm.
second time he got up and he charged me. Now he got into the wrestling shit. He like lunged at me and we got into the wrestling shit. Like I said, I'm
Mm-hmm.
just coming from working out, so I'm feeling strong as a motherfucker. And I'm starting
Mm-hmm.
to wrestle this nigga down. I'm wrestling this nigga
Yeah.
down, wrestling this nigga down. And as I'm wrestling him down to the ground, I'm assuming that he probably said, yo, this nigga get me on the ground. I'm done. You know
It's
what I'm
over. Yeah.
saying?
Yeah, that's usually
So
how it goes.
yeah, so as I'm wrestling him down, the nigga he started to bite right here on my eye. And he
Wow.
started, you know what I'm saying? He started to bite on my eye. So what I did wrong was I should have just started giving this nigga some body shots to get the nigga up
Yeah.
off me. That's what
Yeah.
I should have did. But I continued to wrestle him down like a fool, and the nigga never let go. So as I'm wrestling him down, he started to fall back, and he held on to my eye, which he actually had my eyelid, and
Wow.
he fell back, and as he fell back, it sounded like a piece of paper wreck. That's what it sounded like. You know what I'm saying? So I'm like, I let the nigga go at that time. So I'm like concerned about my eye, like what's the status of my eye at the time and shit like that. I'm a little delusional. I come out the room, everybody looking at me like I'm crazy and shit like that. So really got me concerned about what's the status of my eye.
Yeah, yeah.
And then they don't have them real mirrors, and
Nah,
they
yeah.
got them
Just got that metal.
reflectors.
Yeah.
Yeah, that metal reflectors. So I can't even really
You
see
can't
what
really see.
I'm saying,
Yeah.
and really don't want to see because I'm thinking, damn, I might have lost my eye. That's what I'm thinking to myself. So
Wow.
I backed up and I'm trying to get to the bathroom to see my shit, and see what's going on with my eye. And at the time, this nigga started talking shit. So like I said, this is an old story. So we had just seen Belly. So remember in the part in Belly when the Jamaican dude was yelling, "I'm the Don Donna," and this, that, and another.
Yeah.
So he yelling that shit. I'm the Don Dada, that, this, that, and
Oh,
another.
this a Jamaican nigga too.
Jamaican nigga. So he yelling that shit, which is why that dumbass went to the box, because if he would have never said nothing, he could have ran in the room and fell back. I'm not going to tell the police. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. But he just
So
made himself hot.
he made himself hot by yelling and screaming. I ain't gonna say my man, a dude that I know from Brooklyn named Fresh. Shout out to Fresh. And all me and Fresh used to do was talk sports. Me and him was like, he wasn't even my man like that. He was just the nigga that helped me hold the TV down when the sports came on.
When the sports came
So
on.
yeah, it was just like me and Fresh, like ready to go against the whole house. Nigga, we watching this game. He was just that dude, you know what I'm saying? Fresh was like, me and him just talk sports. We never talked about nothing else. Fresh come out the shower and come up and punch the nigga in the face. Like, nigga, that's some faggot shit you did. You just bit a man in the eye, nigga,
Fit
and
this man.
nigga that
Yeah.
and punch the nigga in the mouth and shit like that. So once the police seen what was going on, and really the police where the booth was at, they couldn't see nothing. By him yelling and screaming, it made the police come
He
running
made it
to the
hot.
back.
Yeah, he made it hot.
You know what I'm saying? He made it hot. So police let Fresh get away with snuffing them and all that. You know what I'm saying?
Oh yeah.
So yeah, police let them. So they like, oh shit, rushing me. So I don't really know how bad it is. And at the time, my mind is not really finish this nigga off because I'm thinking I lost a eye. That's what I'm saying. So that's what was on my mind. So we go to the hospital, outside hospital. They like, yo, basically your eyelid is detached. We got to stitch it back together. We just got to stitch it back on your eyelid.
You had to get stitches in your eyelid.
Yeah, your eyelid. So like I said, if you was to if I close my eye, you'll see the stitches where they stitched it back.
Wow.
You know what I'm saying? You'll see that. So they just basically did that. Then come back. They put me in the infirmary on keep lock, whoop de woo. And then after they had me on keep lock, they sent me to the box.
For the fight.
All this for fighting. You know what I'm saying? It's bullshit. So they sent me to the box. But the crazy thing was the whole spot was about to blow up. You know what I'm saying? Anybody that was there at that time, they would tell you, because like all the blacks and Americans was like, yo, because the word was that I lost my eye. So they took Holmes out the spot completely. They took him out the spot. So now everybody mad. They ready to take off on the Jamaicans.
On the rest of the Jamaicans that's left.
Yeah. The Jamaicans is mad because the word got back that I was bullying the nigga. You know what I'm saying? So they like, yo, man, nigga trying to bully nigga, trying to extort the nigga, just telling the nigga all of the above, because how I found that out was shout out to the Jamaican nigga Danny. I mean, this nigga changed his name to Don Juan, whatever. The nigga, what you calling, I ain't know the nigga, but when I got to know the nigga and we got to talking about the shit, he told me what it was. You know what I'm saying? He was
Wow.
like, "Yo, Jamaican niggas was mad. We wanted to get at you because we heard that
Mm.
you was bullying the nigga, this, that, and another, whoop de woo, this, that, and another shit. The black niggas was mad because everybody else mad, like, yo, this nigga lost an
Everybody else,
eye.
yeah.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
know what I'm
Yo,
saying?
jail be like that too, a motherfucking war. Cause it
Yeah,
start and it's the snap of a finger, man.
snap of a finger. So fortunately, I got out the box in time before, because it really was like waiting on me to see what it was.
Which direction it's gonna go, yeah.
Yeah. So once I got out, and people like, I'm like, yo, nah, I'm good. They see it because everybody looking dead in my face. I mean, niggas is funny. They looking dead in my
Mm.
face, like, you know what I'm saying? Like this nigga got two eyes, like they looking. That's how they was looking at my face, like niggas got two eyes and shit like that. And the whole
Hmm.
spot knew about it, so they like, yo, and niggas looking at my eyes and they like, man, what's up? So I'm like, nah, that shit ain't
Hmm.
nothing because that shit between me and Holmes. You know what I'm
Yep.
saying? If I ever see that
Real
nigga
nigga shit.
again, that's that. You know what I'm saying?
That's
That
exactly, yep.
yeah, if I ever see him again, that's that. But I ain't expect to see him because in those cases, they'll send a nigga like that far up to make sure that we don't ever
Y'all
bump
don't
into each
never,
other.
yeah, y'all never run into each
Yeah,
other. Yep.
because New York had, I don't know, I think New York had about 70 spots. I think they had, I don't know, some like 60, 70 jails at the time. I don't remember
Hmm.
what it was. I'm taking you back to the 90s, early 2000s. I think they had,
Hmm.
but I know they had like 71,000 people locked up, so they can't have no 70 spots. But I think it was 71,000 people locked up. I think that's where the 70 coming at. But they had
Okay,
a lot of
okay.
spots. So if they want to separate
Yeah.
people, they can easily just
Yeah, it's easy to do, yeah.
get you up out of there. And I never see him do it again. And that's why I want to,
Mhm.
niggas like, what's up, man? We ready to get at the Jamaican niggas. I'm like, so these niggas ain't got nothing to do with,
Nothing,
what I'm
yeah,
saying?
exactly.
None of
Yeah.
that, you know what I'm saying? And the Jamaican niggas ready to get at me, but niggas ain't gonna just
Hmm.
watch me get slaughtered by, you know what I'm saying? So they ain't
Yeah.
gonna just sit back and watch that shit
Nah,
go
that
down.
shit would have been a
So
war.
yeah, it was gonna be a war, and I was like, nah, because ain't nobody here got nothing to do with it. You know what I'm saying? But me and this nigga. So I was like that. And then, like I said, I don't know how the Jamaican niggas is feeling, but until I
Mhm.
met the nigga Don Juan, he turned out to be my man, Ace Boon Coon.
Mm.
And once we got on the topic, I told him what it was. And he was
Mm.
like, damn, we ain't even hear like that. You know what I'm saying?
Of
He was
course.
like,
Yeah.
we ain't even hear, like, we heard that you was doing whoop-de-woo to son and this, that, and another. So we was mad at you and shit, and we really wanted to get at you. And that nigga told me flat out, you know what I'm saying? And
Mm.
my man was, I was like, nah, I wouldn't even like that. You know what I'm saying? So once we
Mhm.
figured out what was what, and that shit just was just like squash. You know what I'm saying? I stayed up in that spot
Yeah.
probably another year, maybe two or
Mhm.
something like that. And then, I got up out of it to another spot and shit like that. That's pretty much
Mhm.
all I got on that.
Mm.
That's how that went down.
Yeah, but that shit crazy, and that I'm glad that you brought that up. We kind of laughed and shit a little bit on the last story, but my whole purpose for doing this channel and doing this show is to show kids that don't know the real of what really goes on in there. You know what I mean? Because like you said, no ain't nobody gonna get on here and talk about their mishaps.
Hmm.
Everybody gonna be the victor. So I'm glad that you took the time to share that with us, brother. And I'm glad you came on. Thank you for coming on, man. And I hope you come on some more, man.
Yes, sir. Hope so too, man. Thanks for having me, bro. I'll talk to you
All right,
soon.
bro.
Peace.
Peace. What's good? We back with another edition of CT's RPT, Real Prison Talk with Wes. And before I get started, let me get this out of the way early. A lot of people I got a lot of subscribers out there that's loyal, and they keep asking me for ways to support the channel. I never even thought of any ways that you guys can support my channel because I never was doing this for any monetary gain. So unfortunately, I'm sorry. Only thing I have is a cash app. Um,
if you read a lot of my comments, people always asking what's the Cash App tag. So for those that want to support the channel, my Cash App tag is $031 BWES. Cash App tag is $031 BWES. And if you want to support the channel in any way, any donations would be greatly appreciated. And of course, just put you can write what you are giving it for. You can write a little comment. Just put support for the channel. And if you want, I can even give you a shout out on my next video. And that's all I got. So until I figure out how to make it more businessy, that's how we're gonna have to handle all business, whether it's merch that I'm coming out with, you want to buy some of, or whether it's trying to book a phone call with me. That's the only way we can do business. That's all I got right now. So now that that's out of the way, I've been talking about this segment that I was adding to the show called Crazy Prison Fights. And in this segment, I will allow viewers to call me through a Zoom meeting because that's all I figured out how to. I really didn't know how to get both of us on the phone and put it and record it. So I figured out there's a way you can do it through a Zoom meeting. So people can call me. We'll be on a Zoom meeting. You can tell me the craziest prison story, craziest prison fight. We want to hear about the fights. The craziest prison fight you've witnessed, been in, or heard. Anything pertaining that. And without further ado, I got a few, and I picked one for today. And without further ado, I hope you enjoy it.